Hi, I'm Carmen Jagorit.
I am Jasper Argentas.
I am Leia Ipasua.
Evangeline Tolo.
And I am Marjorie Alvarez.
And we are the Study Hub 6.
Good day everyone. Today our group will present Module 5, Factors Affecting Adolescence Development. Adolescence is an important stage between childhood and adulthood. During this period, teenagers experience big changes in their body, thinking, emotions, relationships, and beliefs. Understanding these changes help teachers, parents, and schools to support high school learners better. By the end of the video, viewers should be able to identify the main factors and domains that affect adolescents' development. Second, explain the physical, emotional, and moral changes that teenagers experience. And lastly, understand how parents, teachers, and school can support adolescents effectively. Let's begin with the first part. Adolescence affect different areas of a person's life. Here are definitions of the main domains of development. First is the physical development. This refers to biological changes in the body. Teenagers experience growth, spurts, puberty, and brain development. Their bodies mature and their brains continue developing for decision-making and self-control. Second one is the cognitive development. This is about thinking skills. Teens learn to analyze, solve problems, and think deeply. They also develop metacognition or thinking about their own thoughts. Next, we have language development. Adolescents improve the way they communicate. They gain a wider vocabulary, speak more clearly, and write better for different situations. Fourth is the social development. This is about building relationships and understanding social rules. Teenagers learn how to deal with friends, family, school, and society. Culture and peer pressure also play a big role. Next, we have emotional development. Teens learn to recognize and manage their feelings. They face stress, pressure, and self-image issues, but they also build confidence and coping skills. Lastly, we have moral development. This involves knowing right from wrong. Teens start to form their own values and beliefs. They make decisions based on fairness and responsibility. To explain how these domains affect high school learners, let's hear from Marjorie.
Thank you. Now that we know the domains, let's look at how these appear in high school learners. The first one is physical development. Students still experience body and brain changes. They grow rapidly and sometimes feel awkward or insecure. Their brains continues developing, especially for decision making. The second one is cognitive development. High school learners can think more deeply. They solve problems and understand complex ideas. Motivation and learning resources affect how well they perform in school. The third one is language development. Students improve speaking and writing. They learn how to communicate formally during class and informally with friends. They can understand deeper meanings in conversations and readings. The fourth one is social development. Peers are very important. Students want to fit in and find acceptance. At the same time, they became more independent and try to discover their identity. The fifth one is emotional development. Teens deal with stress, relationships, school pressure, and self-esteem. Some experience anxiety or depression if not supported. The last one is moral development. Adolescents develop their own values. They learn to make ethical choices, understand consequences, and choose what they believe is right. Next, we will discuss the physical changes and how adults can support emotional and moral development. Here is Carmen Joy.
Thank you. Let us start with the physical changes teenagers go through. First, growth spurts, rapid increases in height and weight. Second, puberty. development of primary and secondary sexual characteristics. Third, hormonal changes and mood swings, fluctuations in hormone levels leading to mood swings and emotional changes. Lastly, brain development, continued development of the prefrontal cortex, responsible for decision making and impulse control. Because of these changes, teens sometimes feel confused, insecure, or sensitive. Now, how can parents and caring adults support them? So first, provide a safe and supportive environment. Create a space where adolescents feel comfortable expressing their emotions without judgment. Second, encourage open communications. Listen actively and empathetically to adolescents' concerns. Third, help adolescents identify and label their emotions. Teach them to recognize and understand their feelings. Fourth, teach coping skills. Help adolescents develop healthy strategies for managing stress, anxiety, and other difficult emotions. Fifth, promote self-esteem. Encourage adolescents to focus on their strengths and build confidence. Sixth, seek professional help when needed. Recognize the signs of mental health challenges and provide access to resources. And now, how parents and caring adults can support moral development. So first, model ethical behavior, demonstrate integrity, honesty, and respect in your own actions. Second, engage in discussions about moral issues. Talk about ethical dilemmas and encourage adolescents to think critically about their values. Third, provide opportunities for community involvement. Encourage adolescents to participate in community service and other activities that promote social responsibility. Fourth, help adolescents develop empathy. Encourage them to consider the perspective and feelings of others. And lastly, set clear expectations and boundaries. Provide a framework for ethical behavior and hold adolescents accountable for their actions. With these supports, teens become healthier emotionally and morally. Now that we know the changes and support what is on the effect on school performance, to explain this, here is Jezreel Agentes.
Thank you. These factors has a big effect on educational experience of students. First, race-related trauma. Some students experience discrimination. This can cause anxiety, depressions, and low motivations in school. Second, supportive relationships. When students feel supported by teachers, their grade improves and they feel they belong in school. Third, diet and nutrition. Unhealthy food affects the brain and body. Poor diet can make students tired, weak, and unable to focus in class. Fourth, comprehensive sex education. When students learn about sexual health, emotions, and relationships, they make a safer choice and do better in school. Fifth, culturally responsive teachings. Students learn better when teachers respect their culture, identity, and background. To know how school can help even more, here is Evan.
Now, let's proceed to the strategies to support adolescents. Thank you. Schools and communities can support adolescents through different strategies. The first one is culturally responsive and trauma-informed practices, which means that teachers respect student backgrounds and create a safe classrooms for everyone. The second one is social emotional learning. Those are the programs that teach self-control, empathy, managing emotions, and positive relationships. The third one is mentoring and supportive relationships, which means that every student should have at least one adult that they can trust in school. Now let's go to the fourth, which is the comprehensive health education. Those are the lessons about nutrition, mental health, sexual health, and avoiding harmful substances. The fifth one is the family and community involvement. Schools working with parents can solve emotional, financial, and mental health problems that affecting students. And lastly, the advocacy and fair policies. Schools must fight discrimination and provide equal opportunities for all learners. To close our presentation, here is our final message.
In conclusion, adolescence is a time of major change in the body, mind, emotions, relationship, and values. Understanding these factors help teachers, parents, and schools to support students better. When teenagers are guided properly, they become healthier, smarter, and more responsible young adults. Thank you for watching and listening to our presentation.